Hey everybody, Jamie here. Welcome to my second podcast / webcast. That's right, they haven't shut us down yet. So, with that being said, I'm pretty excited about that. So yes, it's my second show, and did I mention that I was excited about it? That we weren't shut off, Donna? Donna's still here. She's running the board, and it's a little rainy out here today in Toms River, New Jersey. A little recap. Jamie, keeping it real with Jamie is going to name of this show, and today I have a guest with me. That's right, we're out of the gate, second show with a guest. Today we have a realtor that's been in the business for 48 years. 48 years in the business as a realtor. She actually sold Fred Flintstone that house in on the show. What was it, the Flintstones? Yeah. She sold him that house. So that's a little known fact about my guest. She's been an appraiser for 30 plus years. I met her when I met Ron. She's been friends with Ron a lot longer than I have, and she's been with us for a while. And, we're both Italian. We talk food. We talk with our hands, all that stuff, so everybody gets along well. So let's get right to it. Everybody, meet Linda Pagano from
Hi.
Crossroads Realty. Say hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing just dandy.
That's good.
So that's, was my first show. I was telling everybody on how I became a realtor and then how I met Ron. And how'd you meet Ron?
I met Ron because they moved him into our office as a manager. And, we work with a lot of women in our industry, but in my office it was 99% women. I think we had one guy, Steve, that sat in the back and did nothing.
Wow. Well, how could he get
and
a
we're
chance?
hustling as women because we know we don't have backups, so we have to work. So Ron came in and he got a lot of people motivated. He had a lot of programs to offer us, and he got the ship going.
He's a motivational guy, man.
He's
really
very
is.
motivational, and I call him the captain of our ship.
Yeah, well, he is the captain. You
Yeah.
got to give him that. And, I was blown away with him when I first met him.
Yeah, he's a very nice man. The women felt intimidated originally, and I said, "No, he's really a nice guy. I've been in the business a long time, and I've seen how different people act, and he's a people person, and he tries to keep harmony in the office."
Yeah, he does. And he does a good job at it.
Yes.
There's even now there's a lot more women than men in our office, right? I mean,
Yeah,
how many guys are in our office? There's got to be like 15, 20, right?
Yeah, it's always been like that. More women in the industry than men, and it's kind of surprisingly that women have pushed forward in the industry.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. I remember as a little girl, my grandfather was an architect, bricklayer, mason,
Nice.
and he had a realtor come in, and it was a guy, but then he had a woman that assisted him. So she had gotten her license, but he was like the broker. He made like he was in charge and everything. And I was fascinated by the woman. I must have been 5 years old, and I said, "I want to do what you do when I grow up." And my grandfather, till the day he died, he says, "That's what Linda wanted to do." And
Look
that's
at
what
that.
I did.
A little bit something about Linda today.
Yep.
Nice. That's a nice story. So you have one child, a son, 35. He's turning 35. He's a professional fisherman or something, right?
Yeah, he's an outfitter at a marina. He went to school for environmental sciences, but his passion is fishing, and being he had a boat business in Brick for many years, he was very versed on different type of vessels. And I put him into Jenkinson's aquarium. He had to do 20 hours of continuing community service. So I had gone to Storino's, who we call Uncle Pat, and I asked, can he possibly work at the marina for community service for free? He says, sure. So he hooked me up with Cindy Claus, who is the director there at Jenkinson's, and they took him in, and they were so surprised of the information that he was able to give them. And he's a wealth of knowledge for some, and, you don't think your kid has that capability when they're growing up, but I learned a lot from him myself by going through the jungles of the Amazon.
Going to the jungles of the Amazon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
But
that's not for me.
he knew how to work pool filters, the filters in the aquarium. Matter of fact, Pat Storino had him go to his own private home, and he would have him go there once a week and work on his pool and make sure that the filtration system was working on the pool. And he was just great. At 12 years old,
Wow.
he was very versed. And when he moved to Naples, Florida, we had a condo there for many years, and he said he wanted to move there. I felt heartbroken that he would want to move, but you know,
What, and leave Jersey?
yeah,
Who want to
leave
do
his
that?
mother. Forget about Jersey. And he was just really happy with it. And he found a place in Marco Island that was a marina. They grabbed him right away, knowing he knew the industry.
Yeah.
And they saw how passionate he was about fishing. They set up a whole counter section for him. And
Oh.
he also is a YouTuber. He has a Jersey NFL fishing channel. And he spells Jersey with a Z.
Yeah, I see that on
INFL.
Facebook.
Yeah, and he is just a natural speaker.
Good.
For someone
We
that
got to get him on the
felt-
show.
Yeah, I wish he would come. He says he's coming sometime in the next couple
Yeah,
of
we'll
months.
do a
I hope
fishing
so.
show, right?
Yeah.
I'm a fisherman. I'd love to fish. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't take it to that extent, but I'd love to fish.
Yeah, he outfits people, multimillionaires that come into Marco Island, and they invite him to come on their boat. They're willing to pay him to teach their grandchildren, the family how to fish, and
So
he's
there's a
just
lot of
really
water
good.
out there in that Marco Island.
It's
You
surrounded
think
by
they
water.
you think they play Marco Polo there?
No, I don't
No,
think
no
so.
Marco
There's not
Polo.
many horses out
All right.
there, Marco
Just
Polo.
thinking. So, all right. So that's very good. And another interesting fact, I'm going to bring it up. Tell us, everybody, who his godfather is.
Oh, Joe Pesci is his
Wow.
godfather.
Joe Pesci in the
yeah.
house. Nice.
Yep.
Well, how did you come
great.
across that? How did you know Joe Pesci?
Well, we were in the boat industry for many years. We had a friend that we built a power boat for. We rigged and built offshore power boats that race offshore, and this guy Joey comes in and he says, Joe's looking at my boat. Is there any way that maybe you can talk to him about this boat and see if he?
When was this?
be
What year is
interested.
this?
Oh God.
Not giving
It's in
anybody
the 80s.
In the 80s.
In the 80s.
Well, I don't remember the 80s.
So they invited us to go to Joe's house, and with that, Joe was fascinated with my ex-husband, who is very knowledgeable within the boating industry, and he said, "I'll come and I'll teach you how to run the boat." And for all the years we've known him, there were two people that were additional to his insurance policy to drive his vessels, Joe's. And it was my ex-husband and my son.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was pretty good that they worked together. Matter of fact, when I got divorced, my ex-husband said to me, "I guess you get Joe." And the divorce was like,
Yeah, shit. Take the house. I'll take Joe.
What the heck? I thought that was really funny that he came up with some stupid stuff.
Yeah, I
But-
see some pictures that you showed. I think there's one in the office, right? A bunch of you sitting around the table with Joe.
Yeah. That was at his mother's 95th birthday party. It was at Eagle Oaks in Farmingdale.
Yep.
And her birthday was around Christmas time, so you could see the toy soldier statue in the background, and Joe's doing some crazy things. With
Yeah,
my son.
funny guy. Off like you know me. I'm a hilarious guy.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he must be pretty funny to hang with him.
Oh yeah, and the people that hung with him. I would go to his house every Sunday. I'd bring chicken cutlets and meatballs and brownies and
kind of brownies?
coconut custard. Well, that was another thing. He was dating Angie Everhart, Joe, at that time, and she ate one of my brownies. He says, "Oh my God, these are simply delicious." And I'm like, looking at her like, I don't know. I just
Get her
I
out of the
just
box.
cook, I don't care. So, and she says, "What did you put in it?" And I'm looking at her like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Do you want the recipe?" And she says, "Well, no. Did you add something to it?" And Joe's going, "Do you get it? Do you get it?" And I'm like, looking at her like, "Get what?" And my son's laughing. At
Probably
that time,
everybody
my
else,
son
too.
was like, I don't know. He was like 15, 16, and they're all laughing at me. He says, "What the hell are they laughing at?" And he says, Mom. And I'm going like, "No, what?" He goes, "Did you put pot in it?" I'm going, "Why would I put pot in brownies?"
Why
I'm
wouldn't
thinking
you?
of- I didn't know they I don't know, boil the pot down and make oils or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
it
we're
was,
going to do
but-
the pot cooking show.
Yeah, it
we'll
was like-
discuss how to render down the THC out of wheat and butter.
Yeah, what the heck did I know? I'm
Not
going,
that I've
"Are you
ever done it,
kidding?" Yeah.
Donna would be the same way. She all that
Yeah.
stuff flies over her head.
We're
Yeah.
pure. We don't deal with.
Well,
stuff
she's
like
the
that.
seventh Brady. So
She's
you know,
what?
they said that Eric Clapton was the fifth Beatle. She was the seventh Brady. She was
Cool.
she was like the
yeah,
Brady
that's
bunch.
Okay. She's wholesome.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I am.
yeah.
Like what the heck you talking
So we know
about?
who in our relationship who the good guy, bad guy is. So.
Yeah. Well, we knew that.
Yeah, it seems to follow me, but that's good. But wow, that's a pretty interesting stuff. They say he's the down to earth guy. He's
very
just a
down
regular
to
guy.
earth.
Yeah.
He's very down. Matter of fact, he hung around with Tommy DeVito, who became his manager after many years. And poor Tommy, he's gone now. But Tommy used to be a hoot. I mean, I would do registering golfers at Concordia when they had the golf outings, and they raised kids for the Lakeview schools in Menlo Park that were handicapped children and adults.
Yeah, he does
you
a
know.
lot of stuff.
Yeah,
For that.
so I'd help him out with that. We'd go to different places to do these fundraisers, and Tommy would be there, the sidekick. Tommy didn't golf, but he liked sitting there and joking around, and he'd say crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
I would just laugh at him. What the heck
that's
you
fun.
talking
That's
about?
nice.
Yeah, pretty
Actually, a friend of my buddy Jeff, he'll be on my future farmer show, but he works for the state. He sweeps the state roads, like up in North Jersey. He had that area, whole North Jersey, like 80, 280, 24, 3, 17, all those state roads up there.
Right.
So Joe Pesci was doing a golf outing up in
Cedar-
Florham Park.
Yeah, Cedar something.
It was North
whatever, up
Jersey.
there.
They
Yep.
made us stop our schedule and sweep all along Route 280 and 24 up there because that's where all the celebrities' cars and up through there through Irvington. Let's face it, it's not the
Oh,
nicest
I
set
know,
of highways in the world.
I actually lived in
And that was the first time they actually had state troopers out with us and everything. We were out there making sure the roads clean. So Joe Pesci's guests that were going to this golf outing up there didn't have to see,
It was like a white glove treatment.
Yeah,
there,
I'll
It was like
say.
cleaning the streets.
But we laughed, we had some jokes on it. And actually, Donna was in a minor car accident. This was before I was a realtor. This is going back. I was still driving a truck, and I'm getting ready to leave for Virginia. And she worked at an eye place over here in town. Nobody gets free plugs. But she worked there over on 37, and I'm getting ready to leave, and the phone rings, and it's her manager. Donna was just in an accident. The rescue squad's on their way. I'm like,
Oh my
holy
God.
shit. I call up my dispatcher. Gonna be late. Call you back. Jump in my car. I fly up to Route 37 over by, I don't know, that Oakway Parkway there. I come flying in. I come skidding in. The rescue squad's there. The cops are all looking at me. So she goes to the hospital. She was fine. She, a little banged up on her neck. And so while she was in the emergency room, we all went there, and then her parents showed up. And I was like, she was fine, and, thank God. And I left. And I had to be down in Virginia with my dog food because I guess the dogs were starving down there. I had to get there that night. So I left, and then, I get home the next day, and she was like, I got to believe who was there. Joe Pesci's mom was right next door, and he was in the hallway, and they were, keeping it private for him and everything. And, he always wore a hat, I guess, to disguise himself a little bit.
Yeah, he did. I could. tell you
But
some
that's our
funny
Joe
stories about
Pesci
that.
stories. No Godfather, but hey, great actor, great humanitarian. No doubt about it. We don't know what happened to you, but no, we love Linda. We always, since we've met, we've always been busting each other's chops
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot in the office and stuff. It lightens things up a little bit. But very interesting stuff.
does.
So let's talk a little bit about appraising. You're doing appraisals.
Yeah.
Let's bring a little real estate into our real estate show. And how do you see the market these days in Ocean County? We're in Ocean County, New Jersey, by the way.
Yeah, this is a radical market, and radical meaning that you see the ups and the downs. But this market is like crazy. Just yesterday, I was talking to Karen in our office, and she looks and she said, "Did you see these prices? 2 million, 3 million, 4. What are they doing?" I says, "Honest to God," I said to her, "I woke up the other day. I was looking on the internet with the real estate, and I'm going like, what the heck? What are they, crazy?" Yeah. And it's like being an appraiser, and I'm going like, oh my God, I got to really see, like, how do they comp this out, these agents, that they're putting these numbers on these houses? That's the first thing you do is put comps together, to introduce yourself and
Yep.
go over the listing and how you're going to present it out to the public. And these people that are out there are saying, just put a number on it. I might get it, I might not, but I don't care. They're playing around with it, and then if they're serious, they'll reduce it. But to start at these crazy numbers, I have two buyers. One is looking at $2 million on the water, close to that, and the other one's like, I'll go $1 million, $1.5 million.
And you can't find too
whatever.
much.
I can't find anything. I'm going,
What
and
the
if
hell's
they're
going
if they're
on?
there, they're like at the end of the lagoon. Nobody wants to be at the end of the lagoon with the garbage, Sometimes, but it depends on how it's situated and how
Yeah.
they have drainage there.
Yeah.
But I'm
It's
like,
insane.
shocked.
Yeah, it's
really
we
shocking.
just saw my ex, not my ex, my in-laws, the rest of their souls passed, sold their house, and the house next door. What did it start at? 1.2 million, and they ended up selling it at 780.
Wow.
Crazy, from
It's
1.2 to
that's
780.
sticker
That's a
shock.
pretty wide gap.
Yeah, it
You're not
sure
talking
is.
10,000, 20,000
It's
there.
amazing. I do tax appeals, for people, and they start with, they present the new rate October 1st, and people call me up saying, "Did you see my taxes are increased? What can I do?" And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, "Well, did you see what the market's doing?" And they say, "Well, yeah, but my house isn't worth the $2 million or whatever it is."
Until they go to list it.
Yeah, until what?
Until they go to list it, then it's $3 million.
Well, yeah. So the assessor strikes the number based on what the inventory sold at that time. So you get from January 1st of 2022 now to January 1st of 2023. So here he is presenting the information, the tax assessor presents the number, and the people are going like, I'm not going to pay that. These taxes are now, instead of them being $2,300, they're now like 15,000, and it's like,
Insane.
so
And I have a relative that lives on the water, just went up to 29,000 in Tom's River.
that's
For
nuts.
taxes.
I know.
$29,000. I mean, it's a big house and it's on the water. $29,000.
I know when I lived in Brick, mine were 22,000. I got them reduced to 20.
Still.
Yeah, but it was a lot. At that time, the prices already had started to increase on the water. They had me assessed at $1.2 million, but now the house probably could sell for 2.5,
Yeah.
maybe 3.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
it's just crazy.
But even the
numbers
little
are
houses
crazy.
now, like the $300,000 houses are now $425. Anything $3, and $350, you should be able to get a decent house. You got to work on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. So
Well,
it's amazing.
When they tell me I want to appeal my taxes, I'm like, looking at them, I'm like, really? Well, do you have any idea what the house is sold for in your neighborhood? And they'll say, oh yeah, the house next door sold for $1.2 million. So you really think that your house is worth $250? Really? I mean, what am I going to compare that to? So they
Again,
look at me
ask
like
her
I'm
if she wants to
crazy.
list it. Then you'll get what she really thinks.
Yeah, it's like crazy. So what are you thinking I'm going to do? I've reduced a lot of people's taxes, and people were very humble and grateful that I had gotten them done. I remember having a whole courtroom for a whole block, and
Wow.
I had them all settled. So the commissioner who listens to the case will say, well, whoever had Linda at so-and-so area, these are settled. So as you walk out the door,
Wow.
sign the stipulation form with the assessor, and you're done. And it was funny. My ex-husband was in the audience at that time. He was appealing the taxes on the river. I thought I
Oh,
turned
you
it
didn't
off.
turn your phone off.
I thought I did.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
Only
Yeah,
kidding.
So, yeah, right. I'm important.
Yeah.
So
Somebody calling a dispute.
yeah. So what happened there was my ex-husband comes in with comparables. Now we're on the river, right? And they're assessing us at $1.2 million. He comes in with comparables for $3 million. So I mean for $350,000. So I'm saying, are you kidding? So the assessor calls me over and they says, Lynn, do you see what your ex-husband has? Oh yeah, I don't pay attention to him. I got him reduced, but I got it reduced to like $850. I was reasonable. He's going, oh, it's like he was paying him. He wasn't paying him, but he thought that he was going to be better than me and appeal them, not realizing I was going to be in the audience with a
See,
bunch
you're
of
the
people.
appraiser in the family, not him, right?
Yeah. So they were all
Well.
looking at him like, what are you, insane? So they dismissed him, and they heard me. And they got it down for me, the way I had presented it to them. I was realistic. I mean, you don't go in with $350 if they're assessing you at $1.2 million. Where do you come off doing that? You got to do like similar. You know,
Yep. Like similar. I
Gross
remember that in
living
real
area.
estate school.
yeah, like similar. It's like
So how you
Crazy.
doing with the real estate? You got anything you're promoting right now? You want to throw something out there?
yeah, I have two really good listings. One's on J Street for $850. It's 50 by 100
J
lot.
Street in Lavalette,
No, Seaside Park.
Seaside Park, nice
and
area.
It's right where the marina
Best part
is.
of the island to me is Seaside
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah, right by the marina, right across the streets, walking distance. So you could have your boat
And
parked
eat it
there.
too? Oh,
What?
like the cake and eat it too? Sorry.
Yeah,
go
well,
ahead.
they also have the farmers market on Monday and Fridays
Yeah.
across the street, so that'd be good. Yeah, you can eat it.
So how many bedrooms is this?
This is a vacant lot, and
Oh,
then
it's a lot? Okay.
yeah, and then on the corner I have Northwest Central, which is the corner of Northwest Central and J Street, and that is a duplex, and they're asking $1 million for. There's a little bit of flexibility in it. There's 2 bedrooms up and 2 full baths, and downstairs is the same thing. They're
Cool.
cloned models. Yeah, so I mean, it's great if you're an investor looking to put your money in a safe shelter. Real estate isn't something that you have to be afraid of. People right away, when the stock market starts to tank, they take their money out, they buy real estate. And right now, the demand is for rentals. There are so many people looking for rentals. So this would be a great opportunity to buy something like this and rent it out. I mean, they're getting
Seaside Park.
$2,000, $2,500. It's $5,000. It's going to cover your mortgage, and your
Yeah, yeah.
taxes. So
Times
you
2.
yeah, so I think
Wow.
it's a good thing.
That's good. So everybody out there, you coming to Seaside? Seaside Park. To me, I love Seaside Park.
Seaside
More than
Park.
Ortley, even Manilokin and all that. Seaside Park is just gorgeous, man. It's,
They have a nice
Mother Nature.
boardwalk. It's
Yep.
right before all the arcades and things, and
Yeah.
it's just a great little
I fish
section.
over there. We beach over in Seaside Park. That's part of Berkeley because we live in Berkeley,
Right.
and so we go to that beach. It's as nice as any Florida beach. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Anyway, in our water, I mean, we were up in Cape Cod over the summer, and the water here I thought was much. I mean, you could stand up to your chest here and see your feet. When could you
Right.
do that
Right.
before? And the sands are white here. I love the Jersey beaches. The Jersey Shore to me is just one of the great places. It's just so expensive.
I agree. And I think that when Sandy hit the area, which really devastated a lot of people, it was really
People are still
traumatic.
not paid for that storm yet. There's still people that haven't gotten paid for that. And a lot of
hadn't
scams
gotten
came out.
paid, weren't
Yeah,
able to
shame.
lift. Now they're going around demanding that they lift, and if they don't, they're going to knock their house down.
Yeah.
Because they feel it's a safety issue. So when Sandy hit, and they started doing the dunes and filling the sand, and I think that Sandy came and cleaned everything out. And that's why our water
Mother
is
Nature.
a lot cleaner. Yeah, it's Mother Nature. It's
At her
part of the-
best.
yeah. it's part
Interesting.
of it. Yep.
Interesting outtake on that. What do you think, Don? Very good. Well, I got to say, this was a pretty good show. Did you have fun?
Oh, I had a blast.
All right, good. So you're going to come back again. We'll bring you back in.
Sure.
I want to get Ron in, and Mark will be coming in. I already spoke to him a couple of times. I got some more peeps coming in, and it was great having you. I'm glad you came.
Thank you.
Linda, the reason she's my first guest, because when we were first rehearsing all this stuff, and we're still basically in its infancy, but she came in and did a test show with us, and it really came out good, but I effing deleted it by accident.
That's because I turned out better than he did.
Well, yeah, by accident. No, but I did, and it was really good. So I said, well, we're going to make Linda our first guest because it was really good, interesting stories with Joe and appraising and real estate and how we all met and Ron. It was fun. I had a good time.
Talk about food too.
Well, that's a quick one too.
Gravy,
Gravy. See, that's going to be a show, and you're going to come in on that show.
Oh,
I think
sure.
the part of the cooking show is going to be you because, with this sauce shit. What is this sauce? It's not sauce if it's got meat in it. It's gravy, and you put it on your macaroni.
And these Americans don't know what they're talking
Jesus,
about. And the people
man.
from Brooklyn,
Between
I
the
don't know what
pork
they're
roll and the
thinking.
Taylor ham, which pork roll. Ooh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well,
And
There goes
and
the
with the
Rolex.
macaroni. Oh, I made my macaroni sauce today. No, you made marinara sauce. You didn't make macaroni gravy when you put the beef in
Right.
it and the meat and the pork. I'm getting a headache already thinking about it.
I love
I'm
those
also
pork
getting
ribs.
hungry. We have to
Oh,
stop
me
and get some
too.
macaronis on the way home. So, again, thank you, Linda, for coming in. We had a
Thank you for having me.
blast.
Thank you.
Again, we'll come in for the cooking show, and I'll be seeing you around the office, I'm sure, unless
Oh, yeah.
something happens. But thank you, Donna. Nice job. Thank you, everybody, for watching Keeping It Real with Jamie and listening. Remember, you can see me on Facebook at Jamie, your real estate guy. Instagram, Jamie, the real estate guy. And my new YouTube channel is Jamie, your real estate guy. Check it out. You see me, you have any questions or you have any suggestions, I'm always, not that I'm going to use them, but no, I will. Just give me a shout, all right? All right, we've been keeping it real with Linda today, and
Keeping it real.
thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
See you later.